Once in the cafeteria, I opened my lunch bag, salivating as I pulled out my sandwich. "How could you eat that?" the new hire asked, shooting me a look of disgust as he sat in front of me with his Tupperware salad. "Don't you know how the poor animals are tortured before they're slaughtered?" "No animals were tortured in the making of this meat," I said as I took a brazen bite of my sandwich. "That's a lie. Meat is murder. You—" I interrupted him with a few choice curse words, watching the blood rush to his baby face complexion. "Excuse me?" he stammered. "He likes to keep to himself," our boss said to the new hire as he walked over. "Come sit with us." The new hire stood up with his Tupperware salad, mumbling "jerk" at me before he followed our boss to another table. I took a second bite of my sandwich, admiring the new hire's healthy backside as he walked away. I was running low. I doubt anyone would miss him if he didn't show up tomorrow. Every night, before I go to bed, I see a woman with a cuttlefish for a head. She stands outside my window watching me. From the neck down, she wears a flower print dress, and she stares at me with her black pupils. The tentacle-like arms around her beak moved in a gorgeous manner, and I quickly fell in love with her. I told nobody about her. They would just think I was crazy. It felt comforting knowing that she would watch over me while I slept, but I wanted to go out and meet her. One night, I overcame my nervousness and I decided to go out to her. I smiled at her and she simply stared right back at me. I took her by the hand and we walked together toward the forest. She wasn't able to talk, but I could tell by the way she held my hand that she loved me too. We went further and further into the forest. I decided to set up a campfire. We sat next to each other for a while, enjoying each other's company. I stared into her eyes. I knew this was true love. She stared right back, and the tentacles around her beak became drawn. Her head started to flash. Bands of color streamed across her face. I was entranced. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I can no longer move. She's hypnotizing me. It's only a matter of time before she lunges for my face. I'm not afraid though, because I love her too much. I'll gladly become her next source of food. Have you ever felt a profound urge to do something, and if you didn't do it, then it would cause you great pain and immense distress? This exact thing has been happening to me. It was this intense feeling in the pit of my stomach, in the deep recesses of my subconscious. I had to do this thing, and if I didn't do it, something horrible would happen. Do you want to know what it was? It's bizarre, really, and I feel incredibly foolish for even admitting it. Every day, I've been waking up, walking up to my window, and staring at this unassuming spot on the grass in my garden, wanting so desperately to dig it up. The urge grew stronger with each passing day, and I knew that eventually I would have to comply. I knew there was something awful underneath that earth, something that I didn't want to find. It may seem trivial to you, and maybe you're thinking that this isn't a big deal. Why not just dig the hole? What's the worst that can happen? Well, sometimes the worst can and does happen. This deep, cavernous yearning had been gnawing at me, clawing at me like vultures at a corpse, and I could feel my hands that were almost not my own, grip the shovel. Just dig. So I started to dig. I dug into the dirt. The coarseness of it hardly bothered me. The sweat from my brow poured in buckets onto my tired hands, but I didn't stop. The deeper I got, the more overwhelming the feeling became. Keep on digging. Dig, dig, dig. I was digging for days, weeks maybe. I couldn't say. Time was nothing but a vague concept that had become entirely alien to me. I was covered in soot, and dried blood caked my hands from gripping the shovel so tightly. The strange thing was, ever since I had started this endeavor into the earth, the sun hadn't come up once. The night was perpetual, everlasting, and cataclysmic. I wasn't scared though. I just kept going, digging deeper and deeper, until I hit something. Something hard. I clawed at the black earth. My fingernails splintered. The blood flowed and mixed with the dirt. I couldn't feel the pain though. I was manic, hungry. Then I happened to stumble upon something that I didn't expect. Underneath the earth was a small wooden box. I stared at it for the longest time. The swirling patterns on the wood hypnotized me. I opened it, and when I did, I felt the most unimaginable pain. Every single nerve ending fired at once. I collapsed into the blood-covered dirt, convulsing violently. The box snapped shut with a violent thud and buried itself back into the earth. Before I faded, I heard a voice. Soul number 1043 gathered. Mission complete. On to the next one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to know when I post more videos. Future videos will be longer and have even better of a variety.